Okay, we're back up and running. So let me know if you guys can hear me. I had to change the channel. Okay, so go ahead and let me know if you can hear me. Go ahead and jump in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me or not. Okay, Tharaba, Tharapa, Tharapa. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Let me know everything's Tawab. Drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know that you can hear me and everything is Tawab with the broadcast. Okay. The water, Courtney. Most High in Christ. Okay, so if you got any questions, go ahead and get your questions together and type them into the class. Type them into the chat. Try to be as specific as possible. And we'll try to get them answered, okay? Officer Margazar, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. If you're an officer, go ahead, or a trooper, go ahead and jump in and hit the link so you can get in here and help me run the class. Okay, I'm a little light-handed tonight. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. And we'll try to answer your questions, okay? No sweat. Okay, until I get some officers and troopers up in here, I'm going to go ahead and read the book of Deuteronomy. Chapter 30 and verse 16. Okay, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 16. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou go to possess it. Okay, so we are required to show our power that we love him. And the only way to do that is by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, it's like any relationship, you know. If you have a father and you want that father to bless you and protect you and to provide for you, you have to be obedient to your father. Okay, it's pretty plain and simple. Okay, you have to show that you deserve to be loved. Okay, and that means you have to show love. Okay, you have to show our power, the black God, that you love him in order for him to show you love. Okay, that's the way it always was. That's the way it was since the time of Moses. Okay, he gave us a commandment, what we should do for our power to show us love. And then he gave us a commandment, or he told us if we did not keep those commandments, that our power would not show us the type of love that we need to live. Okay, and that's what the scriptures say. Okay, it says, keep the commandments in the statutes that thou mayst live in. Okay. If you want to live, you want to actually experience what it means to live in the earth. Okay. Because you're not going to go and live in the fourth dimension. Okay. You're not going to die and then go and walk on clouds of gold, for eternity. That's not going to happen. That's not the way the Lord designed this thing that we are going through, this life that we live. Okay. We have a spirit, okay, a soul, and that goes back to the Most High when your physical body dies, okay, and then you come back in the earth and you get to live again on the earth. But just breathing and being on the earth is not really, that's not what this scripture means by living, okay? When it says living, it means to actually not have to sweat and slave and do manual labor from sun up to sundown just to be able to eat and be able to have a place to lay your head. That's not living. That's called slavery. That's called servitude, okay? You're a servant. And our power, we went into a covenant with him that we would not have to be servants if we kept these laws, statutes, and commandments that he gave us. And like, there's nothing wrong. These laws, statutes, and commandments, this way of life that our power gave us is really, if you look at it, it's wonderful. Okay, it's definitely holy and separate from what everybody else is doing. Okay, everybody else is just eating whatever they want to eat. Okay, their bodies are decaying from within because they're eating garbage. Okay, just because you can put it in your mouth and swallow it doesn't mean it's food, especially if if you're a Hebrew Israelite and you from the 12 tribes of, Israel. The Lord told us what we can and cannot eat that was good for our bodies, our physical bodies, okay? Our Father has a much better perspective on what we need than we do for ourselves, okay? He told us who we can and cannot marry, okay? All these things he told us only so we could live. Because if you look at the world now, we're not doing any of the things that our Father told us to do. Our power, the black God Yahweh told blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to live a certain way, okay? And we would live to a ripe old age, and we would be above all other nations. We would not have to go to them for food, water, or anything else. We would be the head and not the tail. And if you look at the earth today, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are not keeping any of the law, statutes, and commandments that were laid down that our power gave us so we can live. So now we are dying. We are on the bottom, okay? We got chronic diseases, okay, from AIDS to high blood pressure, okay? You could just go through a whole list of things that are damaging that we cannot actually function. Our bodies don't function properly because we're not keeping the dietary law that our God laid down for us, okay? So we have to show our God that we love him by keeping the laws and the way of life that he gave us. It's just a way of life, okay? It's a way of conducting yourself, and it's only for your own good. It's just so you can have a good life. It's so you can live, okay? If you keep these laws, if you actually follow your God, you do what your God said, you actually follow him and do what he said, then you would not have to worry about your family members or yourself getting shot and killed by a police officer. I mean, who should have to worry about that? The other nations don't worry about that. Only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians worry about that. Only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are not treated the way any other nation is treated. And it's because we stopped keeping our way of life. We went against our own heritage to keep the way that the heathens live, okay? And basically, that way of life is killing us in the earth right now today. We've been suffering for over 500 years now, okay? Since our oppressor came and got us from the shores of South Africa and brought us over into the Caribbeans and the Americans and, you know, the UK and all the four corners of the earth, we have been suffering because we decided not to keep our powers, our power, his way of life that he gave us, okay? And that's the bottom line of why we are in the condition we're in, okay? You could try to get around it. You can you know, debate it. You can say that, you know, we're not the, you know, God's chosen people. You can, you know, say God loves everybody. You can do all these things, but at the end of the day, we've tried all those things and none of those things work for us, except coming back into the knowledge of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And I just want to thank Commanding General YAHANNA for holding it down, so I was able to find this truth and come back into it and live it, okay? And show the God of Black people that I'm willing to serve him, okay? Unconditionally, okay? I'm willing to serve this invisible God that said he would put Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians over all other nation of people. All we had to do was just keep the way of life that he gave us, okay? Okay, so I got young man Mario. Go ahead and hit the link, okay, so you can get in here live with me. Officer YAHANNA, if you can, hit the link, you know, so you can get in here, jump in here with me, and we can go through these scriptures. If you got any questions, go ahead and type them in, okay, and we'll try to get them answered, okay? But back to my point is we have to show our God that we love him. And that's the only way that's the agreement. We show him that we love him by keeping the way of life that he gave us, and he would protect us. He would give us life, okay? Life is not just breathing and walking on the earth. That's not the life that this is talking about. The life that the Bible is speaking about is not having to be a servant, okay? Not having to worry if you're going to die by the hands of another nation of people. That's not life, okay? That's death. That's the walking dead, okay? You want to have life, and life is being on top and, you know, not having to worry, having other people to work for you, okay? Having other people, Salaki, 1 second. Shalom, Yabashun, Yashabakta. What's going on? Okay, I'm live right now, so if you want to go ahead and jump in, that's cool. Okay? All right, I'll get with you. Shalom, okay. Okay, so let's go to the second book of John. Okay, so I'm going to bring out some scriptures here until I get some questions on showing that we need to love our God, okay? And that's how us showing our power love, us showing our God love is going to have him show us love. And the love that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need in this earth today is being able to get out of the hell situation that we're in. Get out of the, you know, the condition that we're in. We're in a hellish condition right now, okay? There is no way around it. We are in a hell of a condition right now we are a what they say. We have become a astonishment to the other nations. They look at us in astonishment, like, wow, how can these people even exist in the way that they live, and the conditions that they live in? How can they even exist under the oppression that they're in? Okay, under the rulership that they're in. How have they survived for 500 years? You know what I mean? So the only way for us to get out of this situation is not by voting. It's not by begging our oppressor to, give us equal rights. We shouldn't want equal rights to anybody else except another Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. We shouldn't lower ourselves to that. We shouldn't lower our standards to want to be equal to an Edomite or African or a Chinese person, okay? Because if you look at Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, in our raw being, we are in our natural state, we are better than any other nation on the earth, okay? We're smarter than any other. We've come up with all the technology that is in the earth today, okay? We dominate music. We dominate sports, okay? We are not equal to any other people. We're better than them. But our oppression has got us thinking that the only way we are better than them is on the basketball court or the football field or in the music studio, okay? When in reality, we are better than all other nations in every aspect that you can imagine. And the Lord made us that way, and we should want to be held to that standard. We should want the world to see that we're better than everybody else. And the only way to establish that is to be holy to your God. We have to separate ourselves from everybody else. We can't live like Chinese people or East Indian people or the Arab man or the Africans or our oppressor here, the Edom, the Esau. We can't live like them. To show the world that we are better than them, we have to live better than them. And the only way we can live better than them is to show our God that we love him by keeping the way of life that he gave us. He gave us a culture, okay? He gave us a way to show the whole world that we are separate from them and better. And if we just lived that life and did those things, then he would make it evident to the whole world that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are better than them. The Chinese man would not be able to call you nigga over in China just because you don't dribble the basketball the way he wants you to. Okay, the white man here in America would not be able to shoot you down in the streets just because you are who you are. Okay, so we have to show our God that we love him, and that's how he's going to show us love. Okay, we need love from our Father. We need love from Yahweh for us to get out of this condition that we're in. We're not going to be able to do it on our own. We're not going to be able to do it by just coming together and say, okay, let's come up with an economic system and this, that, and the third. It's not going to work. Okay. In Deuteronomy, it says we will be cursed. Okay. And we will not be able to get away from those curses. So no matter how we try to build, if the basis or the base of our building is not through these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us, it's not going to work. Okay. So we have to come back to living the way our God established for us to live. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have a total different way of living than any other species or man on the earth, okay? Any other human being on the earth, Black people have a different way they are supposed to live, okay? We are supposed to follow YAHANNA, because before YAHANNA, we knew that there was a different way for us to live. We just we hadn't figured it out yet. We were doing it by the letter of the law, okay? Kill a goat or this, that, and the third, stone somebody to death. But YAHANNA came and broke it all the way down to the white meat, okay? He broke it down to the bone gristle and laid it out for us how we are supposed to, what these laws mean and how we're supposed to live by them, okay? So we have to show, again, we have to come back to these laws and show our power that we love him, and that's how he's going to show us love. That's the only way we're going to get out of the condition that we're in as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in the earth today, okay? So I'm going to go to the second book of John. And we're going to go to chapter 1 and verse 6. All right, let me see if we got any. Okay, y'all don't want no smoke tonight, huh? No sweat, no sweat. I'm gonna hold it down. You ain't gotta get no smoke. I understand. I'm here though, you know what I mean? So let's go to the second book of John, chapter 1 and verse 6. Second book of John, chapter 1 and verse 6. And it reads like this. And this is love. Okay? Love is not an emotion or a feeling. Love is not a thought. Love is an action. I'm sure y'all have heard that before. Okay? Love is what you do. Okay? And you can show your God, the Black God of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, the Hebrew God, okay? You can show him that you love him. And we're going to read that right now. And you showing your God that you love him, he's going to show you love. Okay, he's going to show you he loves you so much that he's going to put you in rulership. He will put you above all other people that are on the earth, okay? Like it was in the beginning with Adam. But we failed, okay? We stumbled over and over again. But this time, okay, when Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians as a family, and when we come together and get these laws, start keeping these laws again, the Lord is going to show us love for eternity this time, okay? So it's the second book of John, chapter 1 and verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that ye, Salakia, that as ye have heard from the beginning, just like I said a little while ago, from the beginning, these laws, statutes, and commandments have not changed since Adam received them, okay, in the Garden of Eden, okay? And then Noah came along. Noah had the commandments, okay? Okay, and then Jacob, okay? And so on and so forth, then Moses, okay? There's always been men who have held down this truth, and there's always been men who veered from the truth, okay? And every time we have got away from these laws, statutes, and commandments, it's been hell for us. Every time we leave these laws, it's been hell for us on this earth. Every time you read this book, every time we get away from these laws, statutes, and commandments, we go into servitude again. We become servants. It's over and over and over again. We stop keeping the laws, we become servants. We keep the laws, we become king and priest upon the earth, just like King David, okay? But every time we stop keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, we become servants. We become niggas. We become spics. We become savages. Okay, we become African Americans. We become Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Mexicans. This is what happens to us when we stop keeping God's laws. When we stop showing God that we love him, we become unloved. Okay, we become a byword in the earth. Okay, we become an astonishment in the earth. Okay, so we have to show our God that we love him in order for us to have life in this earth. And again, life is being on top. Life is living without having to wake up before the sun comes up and go out and work by the sweat of your brow and not get home until after the sun has gone down. That's not living. That's servitude. You're a slave. You're a servant, okay? And you don't have to be that. You can be the class of people, the nation of people, the family of people that just wake up whenever you want to. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you just wake up, you know what I mean? And you get yourself together, you do whatever you want to do, and you go out to the world and you just see what's going on, live your life. That's living. Come home whenever you want to, do your thing. That's living. That's how that's how we should be. That's living. And everybody else should be your servant. And for some people, I know that's hard to imagine. All you can imagine is being equal. We should all be equal. That's a dream. Okay, it's a dream. Because if that was the case, we will all be Donald Trumps. Everybody would live like Donald Trump if we were all equal. But that's not going to ever happen. Okay, you got Donald Trumps, and then you have people that you will be surprised at how many white people live like Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump don't live on the moon. He lived right over here across the bridge in Palm Beach, and Palm Beach is littered with nothing but Edomites over there. There's thousands of Edomites over there in Palm Beach, maybe millions. Okay, so they are separate from you. They're not equal to you right now. They live a totally different way of life. So you dreaming that we can all be equal is a lie. Okay, and those Edomites that are over there living the life they're living, they didn't work from sun up to sundown to establish, to get the money so they can live like that. It was given to them, okay, by other white people. Okay, it was given to them. They didn't work from sun up to sundown. Okay, they woke up. They were born in the earth, and they had it like that. Okay, so that's how we should want to be. That's how we should want to live. We should not want to be equal to anyone else on this earth, because the Lord said we should be above them. So how is your God that you say you love so much say you should be above them, but you lowering yourself to want to be equal to them? It's insanity. It's crazy, okay? And it's only because what the church has taught us, what the white man taught the sellout preachers, and the sellout preachers came and taught you and your mama and your grandmama, and now you think that's the only way to think, when that's insane. It's insanity, okay? I'm gonna show you how and tell you how you should really be thinking and operating in this earth, and that's what the I.S.U.P.K has been trying to show Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians since 1969, okay? And as you can see, we are starting to wake up to it, okay? Just come out to the Passover, the 53rd annual Passover. That's going to be in Cocoa Beach, Florida this year. And you're going to see that we are starting to wake up to the knowledge that we have to serve our power, okay? Okay, so I'm reading it again. 2 John chapter 1 and verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it. For many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist, okay? So anybody who is telling you something different than what Christ said, okay, and Christ said not one jot or one tittle should be done away with the law. Anybody who tells you anything contrary to that is against Christ, and that's antichrist, okay? Anybody who doesn't say what Christ said when he walked the earth is an antichrist, okay? Creflo Dollar say you can't keep the law, he's antichrist, okay? Okay, TD Jakes tell you that, the law is done away with, that's antichrist, okay? Your grandmama tell you that God loves everybody, that's antichrist, okay? So you can't listen to anybody that is saying anything contrary to what we are telling you in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, okay? If you're not following these laws or these way of life that our power has laid down for us, then you are the Antichrist. You are against Christ and the Most High power, okay? Yahweh, okay? So again, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in, okay? But if we want our God to show us love, we're going to have to show our God love. We're going to have to show him that we love him, okay? The kingdom of heaven does not come with observation, okay? There's something you must do, okay? You have to do something, okay? You can't just give God lip service and say that you love him, okay? You have to show him that you love him, okay? You have to show our God that you love him, and the only way to do that is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments that are found in this book, okay? So it is the duty of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, because they were only given to us, okay? Okay. You have to do something in this earth in order for something to be done for you. Okay? You want to live in this earth and not worry if you're going to get pulled over and shot and killed by the police, then there's something you have to do. Okay? That means that you should be the ruling class people. Because right now there's a different nation of people that are the ruling class on this earth. And they get to decide if you die in the middle of the streets or not. Okay? They get to decide if you get welfare or not. They get to decide what clothes you wear. Okay? They get to decide what shows you watch on TV. They get to decide what food you eat. Okay? And the only way you can be self-sustained as an Israelite is by coming back to your Father. You're not going to be able to do it on your own. We're not going to be able to do it without these laws, statutes, and commandments. It will never happen. It's not going to happen. The only way that we will get out of the position that we're in or the condition that we're in is by coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments that our God gave us, okay? And you can't just sit around and just say, I love you, God, and not do what he said. Okay? If you want the kingdom, you know, all black people say they want to go to the kingdom of heaven. Okay? There's something you must do. You can't just talk the talk. You can't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster and expect your God to do something for you. Okay? You can't just keep smoking weed and heroin and crack and expect your God to do something for you. Okay? You have to do something for yourself first. There's something you must do. And it's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, coming back to your heritage, your way of life that your God gave you, okay? You can't just sit around and talk about it, okay? Like I said earlier, the kingdom of heaven does not come with just observation. You can't just sit back and watch and wait. You have to fall in line and do something, okay? Okay? You want to get something to eat, you don't just sit home and wait for, food to fall out the sky or somebody just come knock at your door. I mean, but you have to make a phone call. You got to make a phone call first. There's something you got to do. Okay? And it's right here in the book of Luke, okay, chapter 17 and verse 20. Okay? We're going to read it. Luke chapter 17 and verse 20. And he was Slakia. And when he was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of God shall come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of God cometh not with observation. Like you can't just sit around, okay, and just wait for Christ to return, but you're not doing anything to usher that in. You have to make this happen, okay? Like I said earlier, you can't sit around. You're not going to sit around, okay, and wait for, you need food, but you're just going to sit home and not go out and get the food. No, there's something you have to do. Okay, there's an action that you must complete before something. If you want something done for you, there's something you must do first. Okay, there has to be a action before you get a reaction. Okay. The kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God cometh not with observation. Neither shall they say, lo, here, or lo, there. For, behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Okay? What does that mean? The kingdom of God is within you. Okay? That means you have to, it's a way of life. It's a way of thinking. Like the things you do will show that you have the kingdom or that you want that kingdom or you're ready for that way of life. Okay? It's the way you live and the things you do. Okay, you can't smoke crack and think that you're going to be, you know, in a kingdom, or you're going to run a kingdom, or you deserve a kingdom. You can't smoke heroin and think that you deserve something. You deserve rulership or authority. You can't not be out of line with these laws, statutes, and commandments that our God gave us, and think that the promise he made to us is going to come through. Okay, you have to fall in line. You have to keep what you said you would keep. There's something you must do. Okay, you have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments in order for your Father to give you what you want, for you to be able to live on this earth. Okay, and like I said earlier, living is not just breathing and eating. Okay, living is being able to not have to go to slavery or to a job from sun up to sundown. Okay, if you're doing that, you're not living. You're just existing on the earth. You are a servant.
Right.
Okay, you're a servant. And that's all that is. Like, in order for you not to be a servant, in order for you not to be on the bottom, in order for you not to have to go to another nation of people for everything that you need, you have to start living like you deserve. You have to start living like you deserve the kingdom, okay? You have to start living like you are worth that kingdom, like you're worth this rulership, like you're worth being a king, like you're worth being on top, okay? Right, you have to live, you have to live like you are in the kingdom. You have, and that means being separate from everybody else, okay? You being totally separate and different from everybody else will show our God and everybody in the earth that you are different and better than them. Royalty. You will live like royalty. You won't eat, you won't put nasty shrimp that filters out all the garbage in the sea. You're not going to put that in your body. You're not going to put an animal in your body that was meant to clean up the earth. You're not going to do that. You would follow. I thought I was about to come over there. You will follow. You will follow the royalty way of life that our God gave us. You keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments will show the whole world that you are better than them. Okay, that you are worth being on top of them and ruling over them. Okay, and that's where we need to be at. Okay. Okay, YAHANNA, I see you. No sweat, brother. Bayana. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Atah, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Again, if y'all got any questions, just go ahead and put them in. Just try to be specific as possible. Okay. Since I don't have no questions, like I said, I just want to go over how Blacks, Hispanics, if you look at this earth today and our condition, we need love. We need our power to come back and show us that he loves us. But the only way that is going to happen is if you show him you love him by keeping his way of life that he gave you. Okay? Our Father gave us a heritage and a way of life to live. And if you're not keeping that and doing that, then you're not showing him that you love him. You're not even showing love to yourself. Okay? You're not giving yourself enough love for your Father to love you. Okay? Because the way we live, we are number one, okay, in AIDS and diabetes. Okay, we're number one in getting shot by the police. Okay, we are the first fired and the last hired, okay? In order for that to change, we have to start showing ourselves love, okay? Treating ourselves and living in a way that we would be able to prove and show that we are worth more than the world says that we're worth, okay? We are better than the world says that we are, okay? And that will only happen if we make ourselves holy, separate from everybody else. We have to conduct ourselves in a way and live in a way that shows that we are better and worth being in rulership, okay? Okay, so let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 15. Okay, we already did that one. Salaki. Let's go to the book of Dan, Salaki. Chapter 9 and verse 4. Book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 4. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and start in verse 1. Book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 1. In the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, of the seed of Medias, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans, in the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood the book, the number of the years. Wherefore the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. Verse 3, and I set my face unto the Lord God to seek by prayer and supplications with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. Verse 4, and I prayed unto the Lord my God and made confession and said, O Lord, the great and dreadful God. I like the way that sounds. The great and dreadful God, okay? We should fear our power, okay? With everything that we go through, we think that, how do we even think that what we're going through is simply because how the white man treats us? Don't you know that this tridagalite has been put over us by our God, by our power? That's why he is over us right now, because he is a dreadful God, okay? He will kill you if you don't do what he says, okay? And I prayed unto the Lord my God and made confession and said, O Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him. So that covenant that we made with our power, the way that he's going to keep that covenant, and the covenant was that we would be over the top of all other nations is if we show him that we love him. Okay? And we already read that the only way that you can show our God that we love him is by keeping the way of life he gave us. Okay? Thou shalt and thou shalt not. Okay? What our Father told us we should and should not do is what we should be doing. And that's how we're going to show him that we love him. By actually physically doing what he said. Not by saying God knows my heart, or, well, y'all go ahead and do the work, and, when Christ returns, then, I'll get down with you. Like we all went in slavery together, and we're all going to come out of slavery together. Okay? Good and bad. Okay? So we all need to be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments that our power gave us. Okay? Keeping the commandments and the mercy to them that love him, and to them that keep his commandment. Okay? This is the only way that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are going to get out of the hell or the condition that we're in, by keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Not by protesting and voting and trying to get into the white man's political system. Not by, any other God that is on this, that has been created on this earth. Muslims, Buddhists, none of that is going to help Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay, get out of the hell that they're in right now. The only way to do it is to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments that our power gave us. Okay? Still no questions, no sweat. Okay. Let's go to the book of Exodus. And again, I'm just going to keep showing you over and over again that the only way, I'm going to show you with this Bible that the only way that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are going to get out of the hell that they're in is by keeping God's laws. Okay? Like if you can look back as far as history as you can remember. Okay, there's been a lot of antichrists that came and said, that we should be hand in hand with the white man. We should all be equal. There's been a lot of crap that's been pushed down our throats. Okay? And every time it just makes it worse and worse for Black people and Hispanic people and Native Indian people. Okay? How in the world are we in this condition? How did this happen to us? Okay? I can tell you how it happened. We wanted to be like all the other nations around about us. That's how it happened. We stopped listening to our power. Okay, so let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 20. And we'll start at verse 1. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Okay, every time we went against our power, every time we stopped keeping the way of life that he gave us, it only leads to us being in bondage. It only leads to us being servants. Okay? Verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Okay? You should not be worshiping Buddha. You should not be worshiping that Muslim rock. Okay? There should be no other God except the black God, Yahweh. Okay? There should be no other God for Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians than our power, Yahweh. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Okay? The first thing I could think of, though, like what one of those images that we worship is that cross. How do you worship something that the man you say that you love, your brother Christ, you say you love him, but you worship the cross that he died on? Like, you worship the thing or the way that they executed him. It would be like if, you know, if you have a family member who went to the electric chair and all you want to do is just, you know, like have a chair, you know, a symbol of a chair with electricity on it around your neck, and you kiss it and praise it and you think of it all the time and you worship it. We should not be worshiping any images, okay? We should have no images, okay? No image from the sky, no image that's in the earth, or no image that's in the sea, okay? All there is our power, Yahweh, the invisible power. So there should be no images, okay? Because you've never seen it. So you can't have an image, okay? Only image you should be following is the way Christ looked, or the way Christ looked on the earth when he kept these laws, how he walked the earth, things he did, things he said. That's how you should be looking. Those are the things you should be doing. Okay? Verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. Okay? Like they do in the church. They go in there and get on their hands and knees and look up to this cross they have on the wall or whatever and pray to it, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generations of them that hate me. How do you hate God? Easy, by not keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. It's opposite of love. Okay? Hate right here in the Bible says if you hate God by not keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. You love him by doing what he said. Okay? This is how you love God, by keeping his laws. And if you're not doing that, then you hate him. You hate God. You're antichrist if you're not doing what Christ did. If you're not saying the things Christ said. If you're not walking the way Christ walked. Okay? If you're not doing any of those things, If you're just doing lip service and saying, oh, well, God knows my heart, then you hate God. Okay? You could still be a civilian, but that don't mean you can eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Okay? I'll do all the warring that needs to be done on the streets. But you better not be in your house eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You better not be in your house sleeping with man or woman with woman. Okay? You better not be sleeping with another nation. Okay? You best be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how you show God that you love him. Okay? If you're not doing that, you hate God. Period. We just read it. Okay? Verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. That's the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Like I live my life. I don't have to worry. Okay? I don't worry at all. Because the way the Lord has set this thing up and opened my eyes to it, you know, the brotherhood. Okay? I know there's angels around. Okay? I don't have to worry. Okay? Because I keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Now, that don't mean that nothing bad is ever going to happen. Okay? Everybody knows, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be good and bad. Okay? Scriptures say if you serve the Lord, you better prepare yourself for temptation. Okay? But I'm not worried about it. Okay? I'm going to take it as it comes and, you know, give the glory to the Most High. Okay? Because without him, there is nothing. But without Christ, you know, being a sacrifice, I wouldn't have been able to come in here after the year 2000 and serve the Lord. Okay? So, you know, most high Christ for that. I'm going to serve my power as well as you should. Okay? Verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Okay? Don't just be, you know, saying, you know, oh God. You know how brothers and sisters be like, you know, they just be using the Most High name in vain. You know, don't do that. Okay? Our Father's way too, you know what I'm saying, precious for that. Way too holy for that. For you just to be, you know, thinking it's a joke. That's one of the big problems with black people today anyway. Everything's a joke. Okay? The condition we in is no joke. Okay? It's not a laughing matter. What we've been through as a people is no laughing matter. What happened to our fathers and forefathers, okay, just, you know, 4 or 5 generations ago is no laughing matter. Okay? You should never forget it. The white man say anything that happens to him, he don't forget it. Okay? So as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we should not forget what we've been through, and we should remember it, and that will help us understand that we should be serving our power, our God. Okay? Verse 7 says, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. Okay? There's going to be a price to pay. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Okay? These are things that we're supposed to be doing in the earth. Okay? These things that sound so simple. It just seems so hard for black people to lay down all their vain things that they do in the earth and actually just follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But on the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Like, obviously, we can't, we're not in a position to, there's certain things we can and cannot do. I mean, if you can not work on a, Saturday, then don't do it. Okay, but right now we are in slavery. Okay, we're servants on the earth. And that like, just to be able to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you should do everything you can to be able to do that. Okay, so one day we can keep these days, holy to the Most High God. Right now we have to work damn near 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, just to be able to keep a roof over our head. And that's happening because we stopped keeping these laws. So yeah, it's gonna be hard in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like to be loyal to your Father, your God, your power, but you have to do it. Okay, we have to show the world that we are worth more than they say, even in our lower state. Okay, we have to serve our power even in the ghetto. Okay, they did it in Egypt. Okay, when Moses told them what to do, we were servants. But we showed the Egyptians that we were going to do what our power said. And by doing that, we walked out of that oppression, okay? We walked out of bondage just by doing things like keeping the Sabbath holy, okay? Just by putting blood on the doorpost, okay? We walk out of bondage. And that's what we should be trying to do today, is get out of this bondage that we're in. We are bonded down. We can't go nowhere when we want to. We can't do nothing. Okay? Without this oppressor telling us what we can and cannot do. YAHANNA say, like praying. What is that? Like an electric chair? Yeah, exactly. A noose or an electric chair. We have to show our God that we love him, okay? And the only way we can do that is by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that are laid out in this book, okay? But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy sons, nor thy daughters, thy maidservants, nor thy manservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy strong stranger that is within thy gates. And the only way, like, just listening to that, you got to know, like, the only way back then that we were doing it is we were in rulership. Okay, we were the bosses. We were the upper class. But imagine now we have to do the same thing even in our lowest state, in this low condition that we're in. We have to try to keep all the laws, statutes, and commandments that we can. If you got to work on the Sabbath, that's because the oppressor is making you do it, then that's not on you, okay? Go ahead and, do your servitude, okay? Feed your family or whatever, but don't feed them with pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster, okay? Keep these holy laws. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, okay? Made it separate. What does it say here? Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Okay? These are just a couple of the ways that the Lord told us we should live, things that we should live by. Okay? Not being jealous, not trying to steal, not trying to murder, not trying to take what your brother has, okay? Like if we just kept just these few laws right here, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians would be Tawab. We would be good. You know how many brothers die on a daily basis from getting caught dealing with his brother's wife? Man, it's insane what we're doing out here, how we're treating each other. We are behaving like our oppressor. We are taking on his ways, okay? And that's something we should definitely not be doing. We should not be looking at the way our oppressor lives and things he do. You know, he sell drugs, so now we want to sell drugs. Okay? He murders, so now we murder. He sleep with whores, so now we sleep with whores. Everything, you know, this Troglodyte glorifies. What is it, sir?
Troglodyte.
Troglodyte. This troglodyte, this beast, animal, caveman, everything he does, we try to emulate it. And it's, you know what I mean? So let him have that stinking, no good white woman, or that, you know, that car he got, that, you know, everybody want to have the $100,000 car or this, that, and the third. Let him have that garbage. You know what I'm saying? Let him run himself into the ground. They are just, you know, useless piece of garbage. Okay? Let them be them. We should be something separate. Okay? The Lord will give you everything that you need. Okay, the scriptures say you should be satisfied with just food, clothes, and a place to stay. Okay, Let me get that one. Okay. Okay, let's go to 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 8. Okay, we shouldn't be wanting, who needs a goddamn diamond ring? It's a rock that comes out the ground. Okay? The white man fell in love with it, and now brothers and sisters, niggas are falling in love with it. It's a darn rock, okay? All of it comes out of the ground. Gold comes out of the ground. All that stuff just comes out of the ground, okay? If you can have it, fine, but you don't want to worship that junk and live your life like that's it. You know what I mean? I get so man. Especially these sisters, man. All they want to say is, they worse than brothers. Got to get that money. Got to go get that bag. I'm like, is everything about money? I mean, like,
listen, they taught them to be whores, man. You know what I'm saying? Like everything you do, like we became the slaves, so you have to do anything in order to feed yourself. You know what I'm saying? So now all of those things that look like money, or you know what I'm saying, like that's, I mean, it's a heavy point, man, because like I had a brother say that to me, at camp, you know what I'm saying, leaving camp or something. And that fake stuff y'all wearing around y'all neck, you know what I'm saying? That ain't real. That ain't real. Your neck gonna turn green and all this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, nigga, this shit look good, don't it?
Right.
It look good, don't it? You know
that's why you talking about it.
But at the end of the day, if it ain't real, it's like you ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no money, well then you're worthless. You just a regular nigga, you know what I'm saying? For a woman, like a man being willing to kill and die for them ain't enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, they need that bag. They need a Gucci bag.
Right.
They need a diamond ring. You gotta put a ring on it, dog.
It's insane.
Point, man.
It's crazy.
They worried about the wrong. They worried about dirt out the ground.
Right. They worry about
life.
Right.
You know
they worry about a cow's hide that got some design on it, and that is, like, wow, now I made it. Now somebody else gonna look at me like I'm, all that. When you know what I mean, like that's the whole problem. We've made money, and that's a good scripture too. We made money. What is it? Godliness. Instead, money is godliness. You know what I mean? When we should be running off morals.
And the heavy thing is, like, now it's not even about godliness. Like, it's just like you're not even a woman. Like, you're not even a woman worth nothing if you ain't getting that money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not a man worth nothing if you ain't got that money. You know what I'm saying? You can't, buy a woman a brand new car for her birthday or something like that. Or if that woman can't have the nicest clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's beneath the next woman. You know what I'm saying? That's out here shaking her tail to be able to afford it.
Right. Selling her body so she can show something off, when we should be about morals, okay? Sit your butt down, cook some beans and rice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like all you need is like a good relationship. You know what I mean? Be able to talk, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy your family, you know what I'm saying? And be able to know how to treat each other. If we know how to treat each other, then like all of this stuff wouldn't even be necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because it would be about how we treat each other, the enjoyment we get from just being around each other, just like in the school. You know what I'm saying? Like when brothers and sisters get together in this school, man, it's like the the environment, just the, you know, the vibe around us, it's just wonderful, you know what I mean? And it's not about money. It's just about brotherhood and talking and, being the same, you know what I mean? Like thinking the same, you know what I'm saying? And just living and worshiping your power. You know what I'm saying? It makes us, there's nothing happier, nothing better in the world than that. But now, just because this Tradagalite, I keep saying, I'm not gonna say it no more. Just stop saying it. Troglodyte. This troglodyte, he rides around. He's the caveman riding. He's the monkey riding around in the fancy car. And now we want to be in that fancy car. He's the monkey in, the suit. And now we want to get a suit. Okay, he's the monkey with the gold diamond rings and stuff. Now we want to have that stuff. When that stuff means nothing, man. If you're not
without rulership.
Exactly. You live. It's crazy how we live in the ghetto and want to drive Mercedes Benz and pull it up to a house in the ghetto. It's just insane. You know what I mean? We've lost it, sir. We've lost it.
Like if I could, it's like it's natural. You know what I'm saying? Like to want royal things, to have nice things. That's a natural thing. You know what I'm saying? But like you saying, you in the ghetto,
right?
And you got the bag. You gotta watch your bag. You think everybody gonna rob you?
Right?
Because they don't have it, and it's just like we should be more concerned in getting this kingdom, man.
Right?
And the earth will be ours. You know what I'm saying? The gold wherever it grows.
Right.
Diamonds.
Right. We'd be kicking gold rocks down the damn road. You know what I mean? Like, how can you be in a low state, but then want to, have $100,000 car? You know what I mean? Like, it don't make no sense. What you want to do is get yourself out of the position that you're in. Okay, you don't want to be on the bottom with a darn gold necklace on. You know what I'm saying? It's worthless to you. That gold necklace is not going to help you. It's not going to stop your kids from getting shot in the street, okay? It's not going to stop your woman from sleeping with anybody she can for a Christmas present. You know what I'm saying? We have to keep these laws and get in the kingdom, and then we won't even have to worry about that stuff.
One more thing, God.
Yes, sir.
That's so heavy that you brought that up because, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we do in the I.S.U.P.K. with you officers and captains and generals doing here, that's what we trying to do, is get blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians out of that condition.
Right.
Niggas is worried about the wrong thing about, a car and, what I mean, this, that, a house in captivity?
Right.
Like, who cares?
Right.
We're trying to get up out of here, man.
Yes,
you
sir.
know what I'm saying? And it takes this brotherhood, it takes this sisterhood, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
In order for us to get out of it. You know what I mean? Like, they always bringing up that, a man is supposed to provide. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they don't understand. Like, if we had the kingdom, it wouldn't be talking about no man going to work and paying the bills. We got everything. We provide knowledge and understanding. You know what I'm saying? This class you're teaching right now is providing that opportunity for brothers and sisters to get out of the conditions that they're in, man. And, like you said, without this brotherhood, we're gonna be here another 4,000 years. We're gonna be, stuck in the same situation.
Calm. And that's what, that's like Cap saying, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I've been trying to bring out. Like, we want to get out of this condition. Okay. We want to be able to live. Okay. And to live is to not have to worry about drug overdoses or drive-by shootings or, dying from diabetes, you know what I'm saying? Or AIDS. Living is being in a state where everything is in balance, okay? The earth is in balance. The ozone is balanced. Your body is balanced. You know what I mean? You just lay down and go to sleep in a ripe old age and then wake up as a baby and do it all over again. But you won't have to worry about diabetes or some cop putting his knee on your neck until you die. You know what I'm saying? You'll just be able to live in the earth and not have to worry about anything. Not have to go to a darn slave job from sun up to sundown. Okay? You'll be able to wake up 10, 11 o'clock, just sit around for a little while, figure out what you want to do. You know what I mean? Paying bills. a bill. Like, it's crazy. Like, they come up with new bills every year.
We would never know nothing about it.
Right.
We would know what is that.
Listen, you right, sir, because like I be reading when it say like our men used to just, our elders used to just sit at the gate. You know what I mean? Just kick it all day and do nothing. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have to work. We had you know what I mean? We had our land, our city, everything was provided for us. All we had to do was just kick it all day. You know what I'm saying?
You know we paid in the kingdom?
What's that, sir?
Salaries.
Right, caught on the car.
Hey, that's what we pay.
Caught on the car.
I pay you.
We didn't pay bills, we paid salaries.
I pay salaries.
And that's what we trying to get. You know what I mean? Like, that is the whole point of everything. We have, in order to get that, we have to show our God that we love him. And the only way we can show him that we love him is by keeping what he gave us. Okay? And then he will show us love by giving us that life that we once had, that we won't have to pay bills, we'll pay salaries, okay? Where was that? We're going to go to the book of 1 Timothy, okay? And it's going to tell us that we shouldn't even be worried about, especially in the state that we're in right now, we should not be worried about clothes or gold or cars or nothing like that. All we should be living, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, coming back to the Most High, okay? You stay in your neighborhood, even though it's run down and, you know, just the worst condition ever, but you live like it's all that, okay? You go home, you cook, and you eat at your crib. You know, you got whatever clothes you got, and you got a house, and you serve the Lord. You know what I mean? And then, guess what? One day, you are going to wake up and you'll be in rulership. You won't have to, you know, be in the ghetto. You'll be in, you know, a palace. You'll be in a state of living where you'll be over to everybody else, and you won't have to work and pay bills. You'll pay salaries, okay? Okay, so let's go to the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 8. We'll start at verse 6. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain. Okay? Godliness with great content, with contentment, so like it's great gain. Like, all you have to do is just, you ain't gotta have a mansion right now. We are still in our how can I say, we're still in our punishment right now, okay? Our punishment is almost over. We about to get up out of here, but we should be serving the Lord with contentment in our punishment, in our low state, because we did something to be in this position, okay? So take it like a man, take it like a woman, serve your God even though you in timeout, okay? Serve your God with contentment even though, you know what I mean, like you still in punishment, okay? Serve him like you love him, like you know what I mean, like you already got the kingdom. Verse 7. For we brought nothing into the world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. Great example. I mean, like, niggas worshiping cars, and so like your brothers and sisters worshiping cars and gold and all this other stuff. When that's a vain thing, man. It's just like I said earlier, it's metal, rocks, wood. It's just stuff that's in the earth that has been shaped and formed to, you know, look a certain way. When that shouldn't be your main concern. Your main concern should be, is your Father happy? Is your power happy with you? Is your God happy with you? Okay? You're not making him happy because you got a Gucci purse, okay, and twerking on a darn pole. You would make your power, your God happy as a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian woman by serving your man, okay? Your own husband, okay? Doing what is right under the law, statutes, and commandments, okay? Verse 8, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content, okay? That the Lord is telling us all we need is food and clothes, and we should be good to go, okay? We should be good to go.
If I could.
Come.
Also, like it's really just saying like the things that we need. Like those are like main things. You know
right.
What I'm saying? Like,
come.
Like, you know, you should be happy with the things that you need. If you eating, if you got a roof over your head, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell else are you chasing?
Right. That's what I said earlier. Like food, clothes, and a place to lay your head. You good to go. You know what I mean? You good to go. You got what you need. Serve your God, and He's going to give you everything that you don't need. Then now you get to just splurge, okay?
But that's the thing too, like you were saying before, Negroes just want it now.
They want it
like,
now.
They ain't trying to wait, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if having what you need now is not good enough.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of, you know, like this whole thing with, you know, like we was talking about paying bills and stuff like that. Everybody is looking for something more. Like we want, you know, to go in half on the bills so that so you can get your nails done, so you can go get a nice purse or something like that, or a nigga so that they can go get high, or you know what I'm saying, go trick off on some, you know, disgusting rap, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, brother, you should be good, you should be happy with that, however it gets done, you know what I'm saying? It's the roof over your head, it's the food in your mouth, but you know, we, like I said, we got that kind of spirit in us, like we want it right now.
We want to shine right now.
Right now.
We want to shine. Like, forget if I deserved it. Forget if I earned it. I want it now. I want it though. You know what I mean? I'll get it by selling drugs. You know what I mean? Like, because I want it. You know what I mean? If the Lord won't give it to me, I'm just going to go and get it the way I want to go get it.
Rob, steal,
yeah.
Twerk.
Right.
Whatever,
you know what I mean? Instead of getting it righteously by serving your power, you know what I mean? Serving the black God, He'll give you all that stuff. But you have to be content first with having just the basics. You know what I'm saying? Be happy with the basics, and the Lord will give you abundantly more. You know what I mean? Okay. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the class. I didn't get one question or anything, sir, but it's no sweat.
Wait a minute, wasn't there one more verse on that? I thought that was the one with supposing that gain is godliness.
Is that it? I don't. Okay. Verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
All right, that's it. That's it.
This, yeah. You know what I mean? Like trying to get that stuff on your own, and the way you want to get it and sell drugs and all that other stuff, now you jammed up. Okay, that's foolish and hurtful lust. Okay, because somebody gonna die because you want to be a drug dealer. You know what I mean? Somebody gonna die because she's twerking on a pole and her old man ain't happy with it. And this other brother talking to her. You know, it's just crazy.
And also too, the other side to that too, like it says,
but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
Right, like that's the other part of it. Like what you saying, like sometimes that first part, like sometimes people just want it so bad they'll do anything to get it. But then let's say you get it, you know what I'm saying? Now, what's to prevent you from whatever you want, your lust, your extreme desires, and you off into everything now. You know what I'm saying? So like that, even being rich ain't always good for everybody.
You're right. You're right. That is so true, because that's why, man, you look at brothers who came out the ghetto and stuff like that, and they get rich and this, that, and the third, and they get off into all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean?
They ain't got these law statutes.
Because they ain't got the law, statutes, commandments. So now they doing all the things that, you know, Esau's doing. What, you know, they go and get, you know, what is that thing when they change keys and all this other wife swapping or whatever it is? They, you know, it's crazy what they're doing out there. And it's just because they have money and they can do it. Now they can just fulfill any lust. You know what I'm saying? Water, sir. Come. Okay, and which drown men in destruction in perdition. Perdition. Come. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which some covet after. They have erred from the faith and pieced themselves together with many sorrows. Nah, I don't see it. Wait. Mm-mm.
I didn't want you to miss out. Yeah, that's a show right there. Shit, man, it's the root of all these, like the love of money. Like it ain't money.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with being rich.
It's being able to have all the money you want so you can fulfill all the lust that you have. That's the love of money. Like it's gonna afford you to be able to do whatever you want.
It's like it's a worship.
Yeah.
Like the love of money.
Right.
Like we love the Most High.
Right.
Right. So whatever the Most High wants,
right.
That's what we doing. Right. Well, you love money. Whatever the money wants, you know what I'm saying? That's what the hell I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like this money says it wants a God. That's that boy right there.
Right.
That's where I'm at, you know?
There you go. Money.
Yes.
Come, sir. The water, sir. Most High Christ. So with that, I'm going to end the class, okay? We at I.S.U.P.K. started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA since 1969. We've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They are the true biblical Israelites of the Bible, okay? And with that, we're going to go ahead and end the Monday night class. Again, we're going to have the Lord's 53rd annual Passover right here in Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 14th and 15th, okay? 15th and 16th. We're going to have the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, okay? So go ahead, definitely make plans to come and worship the Lord with us, the Black God of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? And with that. Also too, try to get here earlier in the week. Right. Ton of things going on that whole week of Passover from Tuesday on, man. The itinerary is coming out soon, but there's a ton of things going on, man. Fishing trips, you know what I mean? Slaughter the lamb, the children's party, ton of things going on. So the earlier y'all get down, we'll be able to get it in. Yeah, come. So definitely be here early that week, and we'll show you how Israel really, show out, okay? So with that, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakathum to the brothers, and Yahweh Shema Alathum Ba'Shem to Yahweh Shai to the sisters, okay? Shalom.